welcome back to my channel. It's Maxine, and today we are doing a speed build of a house I made in Newcrest on a 20 by 15 lot. So I had a whole bunch of ideas. At first I was going to make this a tiny home, but it just didn't work out because I wanted it to fit certain things. I wanted it to be at least 2 bedrooms. I was going to try 3 because I kept changing my mind on and off. And so you'll see me, this is the original layout I was gonna go with. Oh, and my boyfriend's messaging me. Sorry about that. And so that random square that I just put a bedroom in, or a bed in, I was gonna make a bedroom, but it was just too small. So I decided to put the kitchen there, and I was gonna put the living room, but there wasn't a good space for like a decent size couch where I was gonna put the living room. And originally I wanted it a closed off floor plan, but the way this floor plan is laid out, I couldn't figure out how to make a closed off floor plan. So in the end, it's I think where the kitchen is now, I put the living room, and I don't know, I think it turned out nice. In my mind, I was going for like I had an idea of like what kind of family I wanted to live in this house. So I made a create a sim right after I built this. Like right after I finished building it, I made a create a sim because I was like, I'm going to forget what kind of sims I wanted to live here, their personalities. So I made a create a sim and I made them. So we have Roger, Noel, and Gordon is the family that's gonna live here, and Roger is a business dad. He's very like, they live in a small home purely because his wife wants to live in one. She's very into like the small home type, and she's very like, she's all about her family. So she wants like the cute tiny suburban house and the little garden out back and everything like that. And I like her a lot. I like her personality, and I like their story that I made. Because Roger grew up from a background, in my mind, he came from a really like strict family, and they lived in like the high class area of like Willow Creek. And they live in one of those fancy modern homes, so he's really into like clean modern things. He doesn't like clutter, he doesn't like messes. So in my mind, he gave up that vision of his home that he was gonna have when he was young, and let his wife choose what kind of house they got, and she chose this house, and I think it's really cozy. I do cut out some parts of me just putting in clutter, or I was very indecisive when I made this house, and I do not know why. I just couldn't figure out where I wanted like pictures to be. And if you hear licking in the background or jingle, that's my dog Dante. He's chilling on my bed right now because it's nighttime, and he always hangs out in my bedroom with me because he's my best friend, because I do not socialize. That and it's quarantine, you shouldn't be out socializing like that because it's still quarantine, and people love to assume that quarantine is over and we aren't wearing masks, which is still in effect. At least here where I live on the East Coast, so, you know, follow the rules, guys. Follow the rules. No one really likes a rule breaker, especially if it puts other people's health at risk. So, anyway, Noelle is the wife's name, and she's very, like, into, I don't know, gardening. She's like that neighbor, that overly friendly neighbor in my mind. She's like, oh yeah, you can come over for tea and coffee and you can come chill in the backyard. I feel like she hosts I feel like she has a garden club. I really do. I really feel like she has a garden club. And it's just, she's so cute. I love the idea of her and how she married this strict businessman who gave up his dream of having like that big fancy modern home to live in this tiny house that is nowhere near modern. I was very indecisive all over this house. I, at first, like I said, wanted it to be a small home, but then that quickly changed because there was no way I could fit a 2-bedroom kitchen and living room in a small home. I mean, I could, but I wanted a 2-story, and then halfway through I changed my mind and put it in a 1-story, and just the shape of the house wasn't working with the small, so I swapped that, made it a regular house. It is base game only, because I was trying to go for base game. Like halfway through this, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this base game house. So that's what I did. That rug, I think the rug in the living room and the dining room are from another pack. And I do end up forgetting that posters that I put in the son's room. At first I was gonna make it a female, but I ended up changing it to a son. And in the son's room I put posters that I end up taking out because when I went to go upload this, it was like, oh, you have Get to Work and City Living and blah 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 blah, all these packs. And I was like, oh my god, where are these packs? So I spent a solid like 5 minutes trying to figure out where these packs were, and they were all in the kids' room because I used a freaking poster. I used a poster. Multiple, so I don't know. The base game doesn't have a lot of like posters for kids. Like they have a couple like small, like those little, you know, like the dinosaur paintings, or the dinosaur and like the ladybug and the bear or something, like those ones. To me, those are too childish for a 10-year-old child. Those are, in my mind, more toddler and like baby. So I just, they don't have any really good base game pictures for little kids, especially if you're going with the theme, because halfway through I decided to make the little kid room a space theme. I was like, oh, Gordon, which is their son, is gonna like space, and his dad wanted him to become a businessman, so he's pushing him to get good grades and to grow up like he did. And Roger, the father, grew up in a strict household where he had to get good grades, and he basically followed in his dad's footsteps, and now Roger is trying to make Gordon follow in his footsteps and his grandfather's footsteps. And Gordon doesn't want that. Gordon is very smart. His dad is also very smart. He got that from his dad. And it's just, Gordon isn't about that. He's smart like his dad, but he takes on more of his like mom, where he's really friendly and, you know, he loves plants and being outside and the stars and space. So I decided that when he grows up, he's going to become a scientist, I believe. Hopefully I'm not like wrong about that, because I already voiced over the creative sim for this before I did this voiceover for their house, which probably not smart, but honestly, this video is kind of long. At first, this house took me like an hour and 30 minutes to build, which, I mean, is okay. I was trying to aim for like at least an hour, because it's easier to edit when it's not long, but once you speed it up, half the time you don't even have to cut parts out. I mean, I did cut parts out, like these posters, halfway through I cut out like deleting them, and there's another part where I fiddle with the living room, like just small, minor details that I made, like moving a painting because it was too far over. I was like, you guys don't need to say that. And then, or like I stopped to text my boyfriend, so, you know, I don't want you sitting there for like 2 minutes waiting for me to get back, so I cut that out. But yeah, we don't have any themed bedroom sets at all. Like, the beds that come for kids are really like chunky, just they're really bulky is what I mean. Like the bed frame, like the little green ones, we don't have any matching play sets for it, like the toy box. We don't have no toy boxes that match just regular furniture or regular furniture color, because the toy boxes are all like the monster one or the really big chunky green and tan one or the blue and orange or whatever colors they are. I don't really use them often because I don't play with little kids as often as you would think. So, and also I cut out a huge portion of me decorating the bathroom because, I don't know, it's a bathroom. Bathrooms are all the same in my mind. They all look the same, at least majority of the time. Most of my bathrooms I put in my house look exactly like the one I put in this house. So I normally don't put like some houses are big enough where you could put like a separate tub and shower. I never built houses like that because in my real house I have a shower tub combo, and to me it's just convenient to have a smaller bathroom and like a bigger bedroom or a bigger hallway or something like that. And I don't know. Also, I wish you can slot things in between these books on the bookshelf, because I was gonna fill it up with plants, but no matter what I did, I could not get the slots right. I couldn't get the slots right, and I move items up and down to just put things on there, but they would cut through the bookshelf, like that potted plant, and it was just, I don't know, I didn't like it, but I went with it anyway. I was like, oh, well, maybe the pot's just short, which in reality, you probably wouldn't have a really short pot for a plant that size anyways. Maybe like a succulent, but that's a pretty big leaves for a pot like that. So, I don't know. But yeah, this house is base game, and if you want to download it, it's all in my the gallery. I'll link my gallery down below with my name, so you guys can download this in the family. The family is labeled as having custom content. I think when I made them, I put some like CC skin, and I think I put like a CC hair on the mom or something, and halfway through I was like, oh, well, I want them to be base game when I upload them, so I went in and deleted the skin, but when I went to go re-upload them, they're still labeled as having CC, even though I took it all off. So if you want to download the family, and you go on my origin page, or my gallery page, you have to hit include custom content to get them, and all the Sims that I've ever like played with that has custom content will show up there. But I think if you do download them and they do happen to have CC on them, just go in and check their clothing. I might have like missed nail polish or a ring or something, but I think what's making them label as custom content is the skin that I use. I think I put it on, and even if I took it off, I think it still might count. I don't know how it works, but the only thing I really used on them is like Noelle's eyelashes and skin. So don't worry about that. If you happen to download them, you can use your own skin if you want, or, you know, whatever. I really like the vibe of this house. I feel like Noelle will keep a lot of clutter. So I try to kind of clutter it up. It's not super cluttered because it is a small house, and I feel like if you clutter it up too much, it might be too like overcrowded and feel really small, but I feel like their house is the right size. And I do put monkey bars in the back. I was gonna put a swing set, but I was like, oh, base game only. And they don't have base game swing sets. I feel like a lot of the stuff is just too... I feel like a lot of it's big because the playgrounds in The Sims is just too big. Like the pirate ship, I can't fit that in a normal house. I want like a tree house. I want like a tree house, or I want like one singular slide and a swing set that's just base game, because the fact that we don't have it is just wild to me. And I don't know, I feel like the kids are missing out on a lot of stuff. And I feel like they need to add just things that just match all together, so the house just seems like it's... I don't know. I want things to match, and they don't match, is what I'm trying to get at. They don't match, and it makes me really frustrated because, I don't know, things like that are important when you just have a random bright orange and blue child toy set that doesn't match any of the furniture. And I feel like children aren't that young. In my mind, the children's Sims are not young, so, you know, why is everything really, really childish? I don't know. If you like them, I'm sorry, personal preference, I don't really like them. I also forgot to add screenshots of the house at the end of this video, so I'm sorry about that, I completely forgot. But the video is about to end, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!